Hello and welcome into this episode of Command Center. OTAs pick up in week 2 and we have all the action for you. We will take a seat and watch some of the team's first practices through the eyes of our former players. Plus, the new team name brings a new number for Commanders cornerback William Jackson III. We catch up with the defensive back as he prepares for his second season in Washington. And after recording his first career 1,000-yard season, we break down what went well for Antonio Gibson in 2021. And the rookies have gotten their first taste of life in the NFL. But how well do they know their teammates? We find out now. And welcome on in Julie Donaldson and Logan Paulsen. Okay, Logan, the first week of OTAs is in the books. Here we are now going into week 2. How much do things kind of really amp up this time?
I mean, it's just an increase in complexity for both sides of the ball, and I think that's something that is always fun to see, you know, if you're going to go out and watch practice, because it means you're getting closer and closer to the regular season.
Do you get to see a lot of like what the guy, any schemes, or is it just technique? Is it just getting like used to each other?
I think it's all of those things. I think getting used to your teammates is very, very important, especially for those rookies, and also I think understanding the evolution of the offense, like the things that you're going to be doing in season. That kind of starts in week 2 of OTAs.
And for some of these guys, they're just getting to know each other as well as there's a lot of new additions, new faces, including quarterback Carson Wentz, getting to know some new teammates as well. Now, you and Santana Moss were out there watching practice, and we mic'd you up for it. So let's take a look. Guys, you can all watch practice through the eyes and ears and the sounds of Logan and Santana.
Yeah, you ever do this with when Ray was here? Do you remember? Like when I was in Atlanta, we used to do this all the time. You gotta get on the grass; it's all wet. Yeah. Sound like a malcontent.
That's why I say it's kind of like this is OTAs. So is this the first day, right?
Yeah.
And this is how we're gonna start our first day of OTA.
I feel like it's a little bit of a power move. You think it's a power move by Ron?
You know what? It's setting the tone.
Yeah, so it is setting the tone.
It's setting the tone. Like, look here, we're gonna let you guys know we're gonna come here to work, and regardless of the conditions, be ready to go.
Yeah.
It was meaningful. Every game was like a, you know, it was.
And you think that was because like you didn't have the bubble, you were practicing?
It was more because that was his motto.
Yeah.
If we didn't win, they better go home feeling like they lost.
First rep, you're fired up about it?
Hey, I'm fired up. Bro, we would eat you up. Like, you know how you have big routes or basic?
Yeah.
And you the corner and you sitting in there?
Yeah.
Like Curtis was telling, instead of me running up here, I would stem to you to shorten my distance.
Yeah.
And now off of that, it's gonna tell me how to come flat or how to go into you. So, bro, we ran that stem on every route. Man, it's all about the work you put in behind the scenes with it, you know what I mean? Like after practice, I'm getting catches. You know, in the film room, I'm getting to see where he wants to, you know, when he wants to throw the ball on certain routes. So that's the stuff that's always important to me. It shouldn't be something that you have to do every day. Unfortunately, I had to do it a lot. Some of the other young guys, I know Jason, I did it a lot with. I know I did it a lot with RG. Because the velocity of the ball is a lot different. You know,
I was going to say, like, it doesn't really affect you unless the guy's throwing something different out there. Like, I remember with Jimmy Garoppolo, for example, like, the ball, like, his release was so quick, the ball, like, jumped on you in this crazy way. So you had to get used to that. And then, obviously, like you said, like, understanding, like, how they view a seam or a corner or a hitch and, like, where they want you to be. And did you wear a visor when you played?
No.
Dude, I tried to wear a visor one game after I broke my nose.
You barely breathing.
The doctor recommended it. And, like, to wear it with the rain, it would drive me absolutely insane. Like I couldn't imagine doing that.
I tried as a little leaguer.
Oh, did you?
And I literally fogged up the whole thing. Couldn't breathe, couldn't see.
So you see a lot of guys with no gloves on. Did you gloves in the rain?
I had
no gloves?
Look how small my hands.
Get out of here!
I needed gloves, man. I needed them for
But did you wear those?
They
had those leather gloves that were supposed to be.
I would never change them.
Really?
I would keep the sticky ones, even though they wasn't sticky no more once the rain hit them. But what I would do is I put tape on my fingers with the gloves, so
it kind of helped a little.
Yeah, it helped a little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I remember
slowed the ball down.
I always try not to change my gloves out.
I kept the same gloves throughout the week for practice.
Yeah,
I like the gloves that had a little more wear on them.
Yeah, me too. I was the same way. I'd wear them probably too long actually because they fit your hands such a nice way. But yeah, for the rain, I kept my gloves on. But like the new gloves get so slick in the rain. You really got to make sure they're dry if you're trying to catch a football. Nice ball.
Nice ball, great
nice
hands.
ball.
Yeah. Now you saw that zip on that ball. You saw him how he screwed up in the pocket and let him have it, man. Like
Well, the other thing is, you love how that ball's flying like 1,000 miles an hour, and Jahan just makes it look like
plucked it out of the air,
like just
it was effortless.
I think I could watch that all day long, getting lots of good wisdom there as well and insight from Santana and Logan. Now this season, defensive back William Jackson III will be switching his jersey number from 23 to 3 because he wants to go back to his college number. In his first season with the Burgundy and Gold, Jackson recorded a career-high 2 interceptions. So what does he expect from himself in his second year here in the nation's capital?
William, here we are getting ready for OTAs. What does this time of year mean for you, hopefully having caught your breath a little bit at the end of the season?
It means everything because we get the chemistry out here. We can go out here and have fun. Everybody know the same terminology. Everybody working on the same page. So I'm really enjoying this offseason right now.
You mentioned chemistry. That was one thing last season that we kept hearing a lot, that it takes time to get the chemistry, especially in your area in that backfield. Where are you guys with that?
We doing good right now. You know, everybody's here. You know, it's optional. And it says a lot that everybody came in and trying to get on the same page and turn this thing around so we can be a good defense.
This is going to be your 6th season in the NFL. You mentioned this is optional, but we know the coaches and Coach Rivera and defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio has been pretty vocal that they want everybody here to really help get ready for this season. Have you noticed a difference in your time in the NFL where that does matter, having the guys here? Yeah,
it definitely matters because everybody have to be on the same page. If everybody not on the same page, it is not going to be good for the defense. So I'm just glad that everybody here, even the young guys, the older guys here. So we just here to have fun and get this thing rolling.
On top of, you know, taking a little time to get the chemistry and kind of just learning each other's nuances and little tendencies. There's a lot of different injuries you guys dealt with in the backfield as well. Even you yourself set out with a calf injury. Do you know where the health is of these guys, and how much difference will that make with everybody back there healthy?
Yeah, everybody 100% right now. You know, we had a good off season to get everything right, and everybody being healthy is definitely going to get us where we need to be, because that's why we all here is to win games. So I'm pretty sure we're going to do way better this year.
What would you say to that? I mean, last year we were talking about the expectations that you even had for yourself and for this defense and playing behind that defensive front. What would you say to how last year played out?
It didn't go as well that we thought it was going to go. I think we put like a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we just didn't go out there and have fun. But I'm feeling like this year we're going to have more fun, because last year we had COVID and we couldn't really get around each other. We had to do virtual, which I hated it. But now we able to get out here and touch each other and feel each other and communicate.
How important is that? Because even for me coming in over the last 2 years, most of my interviews were all through Zooms. You don't get to meet each other. How important is it that we can finally just get back to normal? And what difference do you see that really having?
It's always important just to be around the guys. You know, we play a sport where 11 guys have to work together, and we all not here, then how that's going to translate to a game. So I'm just happy we all here, and it's definitely exciting.
What are you most looking forward to when you see everybody back together?
Just laughing and having fun and joking. I mean, that's what it's all about. And outside the building, just going to play golf and do bowling. We're starting to do that now. So it's going to translate to the field.
All right, so who's the best golfer? Who's the best bowler?
Me and everything. Well, no, K-Fool do good.
I'm sure if I ask your
golf.
Teammates, they'd probably say the same too.
Yeah, it's always going to be me. But it's some guys that's good, though.
How did you spend your off season?
I actually just relaxed. I rehabbed, rode horses, which is what I like to do, and that was about it, and got back up here.
Still to come, running back Antonio Gibson is fresh off his first career 1,000-yard season. But what does he have planned for year 3? I go one-on-one with the back to find the answer. And our guys are hard at work in the film room breaking down the tape from last season. They are going to show us what makes AG so dangerous with the football.
Can't hard money, man.
Handoff Gibbs. Inside handoff Gibbs. Big hole. Still on his feet at the 6. Cuts to the 40. Now gets the outside to the edge. 35-33. Toward Gibson. To the 20. Slips through a tackle. Another big big hole to the 20. Gibson has to spin out of a tackle. Looking for room. Nice shake and move to the outside.
Look, we gotta watch it again, man.
Chance the outside, get 3. Arm tackle, Lattimore. 5, don't you touch him. Hand off, get them. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
3, 2, 1.
This past season, running back Antonio Gibson became the first Washington player to rush for over 1,000 yards in a single season since Adrian Peterson did so in 2018. Gibson's 1,037 yards were second most in the NFC behind Dalvin Cook, and his 258 rush attempts were the most among all backs in the conference. Antonio, let me start off just asking how the body feels.
I feel good so far. Just got to get some adjusting. So until then, you know, making sure I get treatment after practice.
Adjusting what? What are we adjusting?
Going from, you know, casual running, stretching, and doing small things to actually practicing, you know, 24 plays, 12 plays here, 12 plays there. So just taking that toll day in and day out.
How much different is it from what you're normally doing, I guess, in your off-season workout program, to now being here at OTAs and kind of being around with the guys too, and the differences of like doing that, just running around?
Completely different. You know, emotions going around, the excitement of finally being back with your teammates. From training, you probably an hour and a half, maybe 2. Some people don't even do that. So just aware on your body. That just takes some getting adjusted to. As
you start kind of coming back here, just a couple of days in the book so far, as you get ready even for, you know, week 2 coming up, what is like the priority for you?
Just taking it day by day. You know, we got a new quarterback here. We got some new teammates. Got some new guys in the room. And, you know, just want to be something better than what we've been. So, you know, to do that, we got to take things day by day. That's what we're building towards. A lot of people talk about one of the most exciting position groups are looking forward to kind of really seeing coming out is the running back room. Do you hear that? Do you feel that maybe there's a different excitement this year? I try to stay away from it, but we definitely got some guys in the room. We've had guys, we just added one. So, you know, if the team end up going through us, we would love that. So let's talk about, you get a guy coming from Alabama, drafted on up. What have you seen so far from Robinson? Just like he's been there, you know, he always talk about like, oh, I'm used to this, we've been at Bama, and certain things like that. So, you know, he's kind of accustomed to how coaching going and things like that. So that's nothing new to him. But of course, everybody needs the reps to finally get adjusted. So, you know, he's just taking his time with that. What are you hoping a lesser weight and a smaller size will help you be able to do? Just get some of that twitch back, that quickness, and also, you know, prevent injuries in the long run. A lot of vets, a lot of trainers, you know, talk about, you know, it can help out in the long run with injuries and things like that. So just self-awareness and keeping that in mind. You have a new teammate on offense as well, in Carson Wentz. I know it's very early. Yeah. But what is it like being out there with a new signal caller and what he's going to be able to bring? He looks good to me. You know, he's looking good so far. Like I said, we haven't done too much, but he looks real good out there. It's kind of crazy if you think about it that AG is only in his 2nd season learning how to play this position as running back because he was a receiver in college. And his 21 career touchdowns, well, that is the most in their first 2 seasons with Washington in franchise history. And if you look at his game as he goes into year 3, well, Logan Paulsen and Santana believe that he can take it to another level. Here they are in the film room.
All right, Tana, again, we're going to talk about running backs, and I think a guy that deserves his own video is Gibson, right? Yeah. A guy that played receiver, has a lot of growing to do as a runner. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about right here. So, again, this is the first play we're going to pick. It's a nice run by him against New Orleans, and let's just take a look at let it run through real quick. Again, everyone sees this, fans see this and say, man, this is a great play. Look at him, look what he's doing, finding this space, making people miss. I feel the same way. Yeah. When I went back and watched the tape, and I watched the tape with you, and we saw something very particular, right? He's doing the outside zone thing here. What do you see here when you see him making this cut? Just a bit immature with, you know, just knowing what he really sees. You know, one of the things about backs, this could have been a lot easier if he just pressed it. Yeah. Press it, get these guys to overrun it, and then cut. But he tried to press too early to the hole instead of pressing and showing these guys something different. And so, but by him being so dynamic as a runner, he was able to overcome his mistake. Yes. And that's something that we want to see a little more of him not having to worry about. And when you say press it, like you can see his shoulders are pointing this way. Yeah. You want him to out here, right? Bingo. Setting up this block, get these guys to flow over the top, get out of the way, right? And the second that he feels this color here, where's the ball got to go? It's got to go behind this guard here, right? So if you watch this clip, right, he kind of bounces outside because he's trying to get to this space. That's fugazi. That's not real space out there. But again, he's able to get back to the cut where he needs to. But again, seeing that early and having that right angle is so important. And that's something that he did get better at. And that's why we're excited to talk about him today, right? Is because as the season went on, he improved in that area. And that's something that, as a runner, you got to see,
a lot of growth.
Yeah. So let's take a look. Again, this is the last game of the season. We got outside zone here. And I just want to point out, just watch his shoulders, right? Watch his shoulders. Watch his patience here. Look at this. Excellent. Pushing everybody to their blocks. Everyone's getting sticky here.
Same run.
It's very similar run, exactly. And then him putting his foot in the ground. And then, I mean, when you see this, Tana, what are you thinking?
Head on the goalpost.
That's right. But again, that is all set up because the stuff Tana was talking about here, right? Just being patient, pressing his linebackers, and then he knows the ball's got to cut back here. He knows, right? This is where it's got to go. This guard's gonna have a hard time reaching Leonard here. Again, just press this run. Cut back behind this. I mean, that is a thing of beauty. Kyle Shanahan's having a party out in San Francisco. Love that. And again, there's even more nuance to it, right? Because like you got to set up blocks all the time, right? Even at the line of scrimmage.
No doubt.
So let's take a look here. Again, kind of attacking downhill. And I think it just shows a tremendous maturity by him, right? This run is really muddy. As a returner, when you see this picture, not great. You got to do some magic here, right?
Dance a little bit.
Yeah, and so it's a subtle thing, Tana, but you see that right there? What is that?
Very subtle. He showed them something that they wanted to see.
Yeah.
He gave them just what they wanted to see. He wanted to see him jump into the open area.
Yes.
And that's what he did. You want me there? I'm going to show you there, and I'm going to get right back to where I'm trying to go.
I love that you point that out, right? Because it's a subtle move, but he knows where this run's got to go. He knows he has to set up Schweitzer's block here, right? And it's just this little subtle head fake out to get back in. And that's a tremendous maturity and understanding, right?
A lot of growth right there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then, again, another thing he's got to get better at is making people miss with arm tackles. And when you saw this clip, you kind of were speechless for a second. Why is that?
Because one of the things he can do so well, man, is that, like I said before, he's a freak of nature, man. He's a guy that you just can't put a guy in the backfield and say, become an every down running back. But he showed you he can do that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you say, man, this guy upside is up there because you want to see that more, but you can see at times he takes steps back.
Yes, absolutely, man. I'm so excited to see how he grows moving forward.
Coming up, when the Commanders selected Chris Paul in this year's draft, we all had the same reaction. Now we see how well his teammates can tell him apart from CP3.
My name is Chris Paul, and this is the Chris Paul quiz.
Which Chris's hometown is Houston, Texas?
Our Chris Paul. My teammate. CP3. Teammate. CP3.
Which Chris Paul's favorite vacation spot is Venice, Italy?
CP3.
Teammate.
Actually, for real? How you get to vacate there like that? It's alright.
Chris Paul, the basketball player. My teammate again? Oh man, hold on, I'm messing up. Alright.
The basketball player? What he doing out there? Come on.
Your favorite vacation spot is Venice, Italy?
That is correct.
How many times have you been?
Once, and it was a study abroad trip.
Which Chris is a vegan?
It's got to be CP3.
Correct.
Big boy ain't vegan. We going with Chris Paul, the basketball player.
My teammate, Chris Paul. Oh, man. My bad, man. You know, I'm going to get to know him some more, though, so I'm going to get all these answers right next time.
Which Chris's middle name is Emmanuel?
Our Chris Paul. Wow. Whatever I'm thinking, I'm just going to guess the opposite at this point.
CP3. Teammate.
Basketball player.
CP3.
That's correct. Which Chris Paul started every game they played at guard in 2019?
Teammate.
It's actually both.
Oh, the basketball player.
It's both, actually. It was your teammate.
I mean, he said guard, so I mean, all right, cool.
Our Chris Paul.
It's both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My teammate, yeah.
It's both.
For real? So Chris Paul, guard, yeah, all right, you trick.
Which Chris's dream job is being the U.S. Secretary of Defense?
RCP.
Yeah, that's my teammate. Yeah.
My teammate.
Correct.
See, there I go. I'm getting it now. Now I get it.
Which Chris Paul's high school held a Chris Paul Day?
CP3. He lit. He got his own day.
CP3. Oh, really? I need one of those at my high school.
Basketball player. He doing it big. Man, I'm trying to get like him.
It's always kind of fun getting to know the rookies' personalities, but how much do you remember of like your rookie class and who was there with you?
I mean, now I remember it very well, but at the time, I'm sure my answers would have been very similar to those guys because you're just meeting them for the first time, right? You've heard of guys, obviously Trent Williams was in my class, and that was a big deal. And you see him walking around with his gold chain, you're like, man, that guy's kind of scary and intimidating. But as you get to know them, you spend a lot of time together in the hotel, you live together, and building those relationships is part of the thing that I remember most fondly about my NFL experience.
I can imagine your head kind of like the first day of work or school. It's like, it's just spinning and you're trying to find your way. Where's the locker room? Where's the restroom? Like, where do I go to the practice field? Where do I get my training? And now I got to learn everybody as well. They've had a couple of days of OTAs under their belt. And again, as we're gearing up for week 2, now of organized team activities. What is it most important for rookies to get out of this?
I think it's just understanding the speed of the game. Like when you watch practice, I think the first day you see a couple of guys having a hard time kind of matching the speed of NFL offensive linemen or defensive backs or whatever it may be. So as they get more comfortable, as they're not spinning so much like you beautifully stated, I think there's a good opportunity for them to kind of see what they really look like in an NFL scheme, right? Get their legs under them, mentally get kind of a hold of the offense and defense, whatever it is, and play fast football. And that's what I'm excited to see.
It is. That's the one thing that they always say too, is like the speed of the game is always so different at this level than in college. And we heard Jahan Dotson even saying that, look, everybody is on their technique. That's what they resort back to, even though the game is that much quicker as well. So very exciting times because football is back and it means we're getting that much closer to the season beginning. Can you feel it, right?
Yeah, no, this is it. That's why it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
It's thrilling in the building to have everybody here. That's going to do it for this episode of Command Center. For Logan Paulsen, I'm Julie Donaldson. We'll see you next time.